Good morning, fanboys and fangirls. Welcome back to Nerds on Topic. This is Kevin, your solo nerd, and today I'm bringing you a brand new topic, all for the holidays. Let's get down to business.
Ready? Kick it! Pick it up now!
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. What's going on? This is Kevin, your solo nerd, and I am bringing you a brand new episode on this wonderful holiday in which we will all feast out until our guts explode. Yeah, how's everyone doing? I'm doing all right, having fun, all that kind of shit. I've been going around telling everybody goodbye. Yeah. So, today I'm bringing you a brand new topic, and it is all for the holidays. And surprisingly, no one guessed who I was talking about in the question. So if you already clicked on this episode and you didn't read the title, today I am doing a whole episode on the only supervillain I found, other than maybe one other, that does nothing but crimes based on days and holidays, and is just generally obsessed with the calendar. Calendar Man, who is a little bit of a lesser known, but also kind of like a comedy based, not comedy based, but thought of being funny supervillain of Batman. So I thought doing this would be a nice, quick little episode that you guys could feast on right before your Thanksgiving feast. And yeah, so I hope you guys are excited to learn all about Calendar Man today. If this is your first episode of Nerds on Topic, every week I go through and I pick a different topic from nerd and or geek culture, and I do a shit ton of research on it. I do so much research, I find myself stumbling down a stairway full of pages of nothing but dates and times and different things going on in the calendar, and a lot of really bad puns and weird costumes. Yeah. Shit gets weird with this, man. Uh, so, I am bringing you Calendar Man. And as like I've been doing lately, I go through and I tell you about my little personal history with this character, which is none. I honestly just have known about Calendar Man, but never actually remember watching or seeing anything or reading anything with him in it. Just kind of been like one of those background characters that I heard like referenced once or twice and never really got interested in because he sounded boring as hell. And now I just know he was a goofball who always was going through an existential crisis. So, yeah, that's my personal history with Calendar Man, and now to go into the character profile. Calendar Man, aka Julian Gregory Day. Yeah, it's a very interesting name where all of his names are actually a pun on the calendar, like Julian, as in the Julian, like Julius Day or Julian Day, uh, setup. Then Gregory, like is then the Gregorian calendar, and then of course Day because days of the week. Yeah. So his entire name is a gigantic pun, and I love slash hate it because fuck, I'm meant to be the pun master. Or as some people have called me, the Punisher. Okay, I'm done. Goodbye. But I digress. Let's get into his actual profile. He is Calendar Man, of course. He has also been known as Calendar King. He is a skilled inventor and engineer, coming up with many different, mechanisms and machines to fight against his main hero, who he probably thinks as his arch hero, Batman. He is incredibly smart, though apparently not smart enough to defeat Batman. He is skilled in hand-to-hand combat, and as of recently, he now ages and dies with the passing of the seasons, being born in spring and aging to an old man by winter and dying until his body is then once again crawling out of his old husk of a shell as a young man in spring again. Yeah, it's some weird shit. That was, of course, a recent addition to his power set. And yeah, he's normally just an inventor who does crimes based on calendar days. Um, so his whole thing is has since birth been obsessed with the calendar, different days and holidays, and everything related to it. Which is why whenever he started committing crimes, all of his crimes were based on either days of the week or holidays. Um, yeah, so he was created by Batman creator Bill Finger. Fuck you, fight me if you don't believe that. And Sheldon Moldoff, who is best known for creating the Hawk People, Hawkman, and Hawk Girl, and some other things. But he was also writing under, what's his name? Bob Kane. I think as a ghostwriter. So he was created on in September 1959 in issue 259 of Detective Comics. And his whole thing is, of course, being obsessed with dates and holidays, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So his publication history, this is where I get into the nitty-gritty of his entire life of appearing in comics. And don't forget your drinking game, everybody. Where I take a drink, you take a drink. I hope you get really smashed, because that is the best way to listen to me. His publication history starts off, of course, with his first appearance in Detective Comics, where he challenges Batman to thwart his crimes, which are based off of different days. He wasn't seen again until 1972, which is like 20 years later, which is ridiculous, but kind of makes sense because he's not all that interesting. Where he was seen in Detective Comics number 312, where he hatched a scheme of crime sprees. He had a crime spree based on every day of the week, named after Roman and Norse gods. For those who don't know, each day of the week is actually named after a different god in mythology. So Thursday is Thor's Day, or Thorstag, named after, of course, the Norse god Thor. Then we also have like Saturn Day, Saturnalia, which is named after the Roman god Saturn, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so it's interesting. Woden's Day, Wodenstag, Wednesday, shit like that. So he dressed as a different Greek god or Norse god every day of the week and committed a crime. And he almost got away on Sunday because everyone thought that he was going to steal a artifact based off of the Egyptian sun god Ra, but instead took a train of like the setting sun or some shit like that, in which Batman immediately caught him. But in the meantime, though, he had actually almost killed Batman using a sonic gun and was, free to commit crimes for like several days before he was actually apprehended. Of course, this is also the premiere of his most iconic costume, which has what everyone refers to as the calendar cape. It's a big red costume with a bunch of like grid marks and numbers on it, which of course are meant to represent the days on the calendar, and looks really stupid. I love it. Once again, years pass, and we see Calendar Man again working for the Monitor right before a crisis. And he has been hired by the Monitor to try to kill Batman. Dressing up in holiday attire throughout the week, he ends up kidnapping Jason Todd, who was Robin at the time, and beats him to death with a crowbar. Oh wait, no. Sorry, that's a different time Jason Todd got kidnapped. Actually, he gets beat the shit out of by Jason Todd and captured by the Robin instead. Irony is not lost upon him. After that, we see him again in his most famous storyline, where he popped up in the very popular Batman The Long Halloween, where Batman ends up actually using Julius as a Hannibal Lecter-style informant. because he knew who was committing the crimes based on Holiday's a serial killer who was named, I do believe, Holiday. I know, very, very creative. Um, yeah, so he also ends up being in the sequel where he played a little bit more of a important mark, where we have him disguised as a mob boss known as Carmen Falcone, who, if you guys all know, Batman Year One, I do believe, is one of the big reasons Batman started crime fighting. At least I do believe that's it. I don't know. It's been a while since I've actually seen or read that. Going on from there, though, we have him tormenting Carmen Falcone's kids and trying to get them to commit suicide. But they realized that their dad never wanted or never condoned suicide and ended up beating the shit out of him. Man, he sure has a long line of getting the shit beat out of him after trying to get people to do shit. That's pretty funny. During this time, though, we also find out that he has a existential crisis, realizing that all these more dangerous criminals and rogues that are coming out of the woodworks are making him seem pathetic and being forgotten pretty much altogether. What the?
Nevik! It is me, your landlord. I told you to be out of here at this exact time. Why are you still in here? Why are you not moved out yet?
How did you get in here? What? Dude, I'm in the middle of doing something.
Are you talking about those reptiles again?
No, this time I'm talking about friggin' Calendar Man, an obscure DC supervillain.
Fine. Finish this podcast, and then you're out of here.
Wait, why are you calling me by my internet name? How did you know? What? What the fuck? What the hell just happened? Seriously? I am so fucking confused right now. Oh, fuck. Anyway, let me just fucking finish talking about Calendar Man. So couple years later, Calendar Man ends up joining with some other low-tier supervillains. Killer Moth and Catman. They end up calling themselves the Misfits. Totally not after the band, which of course didn't last very long. Then he was in Batman Nightfall, where he was freed by Bane, where he was almost immediately caught by Booby Girl. I mean Power Girl. And then later on, him and some others end up fighting the Titans spin-off group Team Titans for some kind of mystical hourglass or some shit. After that, he gets a power boost in a story from Giant Size Batman number 3, called All the Deadly Days. After that, in the pre-New 52, I should say, Harley Quinn solo series, he worked once again as an informant for her like he did for Batman. And then he completely fell off the map for years. The New 52 passed, which if you don't know what a New 52 is, Barry Allen got sad that his mama was still dead, so he went back in time to save her, but fucked everything up, so he had to go back in time to unsave her. But whenever he got back, everyone had changed, and, everyone had just been heroes for like 5 years. And then, of course, he hadn't been seen after that, so it ended up going into Rebirth, where he ended up getting some interesting new superpowers. He ended up aging with the seasons. So, like I had said earlier, he had been born in spring and died in the winter. But in this first issue of the Batman Rebirth, he ended up trying to speed up the seasons and his life cycle with it. Every time he'd get reborn, he would get better, smarter, stronger. And at the time, Batman had been working with his new protege, Duke, who ended up becoming, I do believe his name was Signal or Symbol or something like that, like the Bat Signal. Funny. Don't really like his costume all that much, but I like the idea behind his character. But yeah, they ended up defeating him, and yeah, that's the last we ever hear of Calendar Man. We don't know if he's ever going to come back. If he does, it might just be for, once again, another minor storyline, because he's really not all that interesting of a character. I knew this wasn't going to be a very long episode. I'm still weirded the fuck out how my landlord got in here. and why he's getting so mad. But you know what? Fuck it. This is the last time I'm going to be recording in Bakersfield. Yeah. Thank you guys. This has been Nerds on Topic, and now it's time to do all my little shout-outs. So you can follow me on all social medias at Not Coffee, and that's coffee with a K. You can follow the podcast on all social medias at Nerds on Topic. You can follow the amazing DJ who does my theme music at the beginning and end of every episode at Swa Music. And you can email the podcast at on Gmail at nerdsontopic@gmail.com. If you have any suggestions, you just want to write to me, say hi, tell me that you like me, tell me that you hate me. I really don't care. I just want someone to talk to me. I'm so sad. If you know someone who likes this kind of nerdy shit and likes podcasts, send them my way. Just share it with a friend, share it with people you don't even fucking know. And I think that's everything. Well, I guess that's it. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, Bakersfield. And remember, this is not the podcast you're looking for.
Finally, he is gone. I am the landlord, and he was getting too close to figuring out the truth. And now that he's gone, mask rips off and it's a reptile! The reptile's own California! Ha 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 ha!